Hi all, welcome to my YouTube channel again. So in this session we are going to discuss about the understanding infrastructure as code and configuration management. So the table of contents which we are going to discuss here are what is the difference between IAC and configuration management, and there is a task for IAC and configuration management explain. So read more about IAC and config management tools. Give difference between both. Suitable examples. What are the most common IAC and config management tools? We will discuss this task also in the end. So let's start this now. I have mentioned everything in this blog. If you want to check out this blog, you can check that from this link, which I will be keeping in the description box. So first is what is the difference between IAC and configuration management? When it comes to the cloud, infrastructure as a code and configuration management, simplest form is IAC and CM are inseparable. So with the IAC, a descriptive model is used for infrastructure management. To name a few examples of infrastructure, networks, virtual computers, and load balancer, using an IAC model always results in the same setting. Throughout the life cycle of a product, configuration management ensures that the performance, functional and physical inputs, requirements, design, and operations of that product remain constant. So that's what the difference between the IAC and configuration management. Now the task, which is IAC and configuration management explained. So in detail, we are going to explore about this IAC and configuration management, which is in simple terms we can call it CM. To read more about IAC and config management tools, infrastructure as a code, which is nothing but a IAC. As the name indicates, a code is written to build the infrastructure. Infrastructure includes building servers, configuring tools, setting up the environment, etc. Developers do not need to manually manage servers, database connections, operating systems, testing software, feedback systems, storage, etc. Additionally, tools eliminate the need for setting up and conditioning IT infrastructure each time a new project starts. Version control is an important part of IAC, and your configuration files should be under source control just like any other software source code file. And deploying your infrastructure as code also means that you can divide your infrastructure into modular components that can be combined in different ways or through automation. So the exam advantages of IAC is cost reduction, increase in speed of deployments, reduce errors, improve infrastructure consistency, eliminate configuration drift. And about configuration management tools, this will help administrator maintain system consistency, also known as configuration enforcement. This process ensures that the new machine software packages and updates are installed and configured according to the desired state. So consistent system components reduce support incidents, shorten IT problem resolution, and help maintain compliance. CM tools also provide version control and change control to keep consistency. So the configuration management software provides an actual historical record of the system date, which is helpful for project management, auditing, and debugging. So these tools increase efficiency and stability and visibility into the changes that occur in an application and streamline a company's change control policy. And the advantages of configuration management tools is automation of configuration policies and management for prompt remediation and scalability. The tools capable of onboarding an extensive infrastructure and flexibility, cloud compatibility, protection against future risk with a system devoted to configuration policies. And give a difference between both with suitable examples. So the difference between IAC and configuration management is a scope. Scope is focused on defining and automating the deployment of entire infrastructure stacks, whereas the configuration management tools focus on individual servers and their configuration. Infrastructure provisioning. IAC tools use it to create new infrastructure. Configuration tools use it to configure existing infrastructure that you already know. And the resource management. IAC tools manage the life cycle of resources such as virtual machines, networks, and storage. Configuration management tools manage the configuration of software servers running on these resources. Deployment strategy. IAC tools typically use a declarative approach where the desired state of the infrastructure is defined in code. Configuration management tools use an imperative approach where scripts are used to perform specific actions. Next is what are the most common IAC and config management tools. IAC tools are Terraform, Pulumi, and CloudFormation. CloudFormation is again a service which is provided by the AWS. Terraform is open source tool. It is developed by the HashiCorp and it is platform independent tool. We can create any infrastructure, any platform infrastructure using the Terraform. And Pulumi is also an open source. So it supports multiple cloud providers like AWS, Azure, and Google platform. Config management tools. Config management tools you might have already heard the Ansible, Chef, and Puppet. So Ansible is an open source configuration tool that can be used for configuration management. So it uses YAML files to an YAML based language for defining infrastructure and configuration. And it can manage infrastructure on premise or in the cloud. Both it can manage whether it is on premise or on the cloud. Same for Chef. Chef is also an open source tool and it is Ruby based. Whereas this Puppet is a tool that uses declarative language to define and manage the infrastructure configuration. Yeah, that's all about the IAC and the configuration management. And that's all for today. If you want to go through this blog, you can check that from this link which I will be keeping in the description box. And thanks for watching until the end.